One thing I've realized that has become increasingly more valid in my life as I continue to get older and evolve on my journey of life is like imagining these very vivid what if scenarios. Like it's weird because I can almost like I obsess over it sometimes, and it's like they won't always be bad scenarios and they won't always be good, but it's like I don't know, like sometimes when I think too much about certain things in my life, like events that have happened, they don't even have to be huge life altering events. Sometimes it's like I can't get over some of the stuff that happened in school still. Like I've been out of school since 2019, and sometimes there's still things I think about and it bothers me to my core. Like it actually eats me up inside. And it's just weird because I can recall so many moments when I was in high school, and I'm like, if I was the person I am today, man, I would have handled that shit so much differently. And it's like, yeah, well, obviously, no shit, you would have. You're a completely different person now than you were in 2019 when you were like, you know. But I have this weird thing where like I grow obsessed with it sometimes, and I grow obsessed with like trying to make a scenario that happened better in my head, or even sometimes worse. And it's like unintentionally worse. But sometimes I'll take something that happened in high school and go, oh, what if it would have went this way? And it's mainly like the good stuff that, or the bad stuff that happened, and just envisioning how I could have changed things. Like, you know, when you're a freshman and you're super nervous to go into high school, and you're just starting out. Obviously, you don't know very many people except some of the people that may be coming over with you from your other school, your middle school or whatever. But there was times when I wasn't vocal enough in like my freshman year about a lot of things because I was very antisocial, but also very nervous inside because like it's all foreign to you. You don't understand how high school works. You got the seniors trying to bully the freshmen. Like it's the cliche shit that you can expect. But there's just certain things I can recount in my head. Like I use an example. When I was a sophomore, there was this girl that I really liked a lot, and me and her were like cool, but she had one of those friend groups that was like really annoying and toxic. Like one of those friend groups to where like, oh, if you like this girl and you date this girl, her toxic friends are going to make your life a living hell because because like you never know when friends have, or when somebody has a toxic friend group like that. But anyway, she was a great girl, but like her friend group was just horrible. But I remember homecoming was getting ready to come up, and I did like this whole like thing that I made her, and I was gonna ask her to homecoming, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it in the middle of lunch in front of everybody to just make it seem heartfelt and special. So I did it, and she was smiling and like she liked it, but her friends just started laughing and giggling, and then it made the whole cafeteria start laughing. And it was like that school movie moment where you're like just completely embarrassed, like those cliche school movies that you've seen where the dude in school gets laughed at in front of everybody for doing something that he thought was going to be like better than what it actually turned out to be. That was me. And it wasn't her fault, but it was just a lot of influence. And then like that situation, it just there's so many what ifs, man. There's so many what ifs. It's like some of the friends that I've lost since high school, just because we couldn't see eye to eye on certain things, and like just what ifing how, like, what if I would have handled that a better way? What if I wasn't, what if I was back then what I am now? What if I'm more calm back then like I am now? Like I can handle conflict and resolution skills differently, and I can communicate, and I'm not just a loose cannon. But that's kind of just the way I was, because I was always trying to protect my own whatever. And I don't know, sometimes, man, I just be thinking like, what if, you know? And even some of the events that happened after high school, like, what if? Um, like, I don't know. You just think about some of those friends that you lost, and you think about, the girl that you really liked back then, and like, it's just like, what if she didn't have a toxic friend group, and it would have played out differently. It's just those type of things, And it's not like I think about those scenarios out of a place of resentment or like bashing myself or bashing anybody else. It's just that really grim what if feeling. Like, because I know everybody's had that feeling where they've had that you're where you are today, but then you look back and you're like, damn, if I would have just, like, what if this one little string of events turned out slightly differently? That could have, like, shaped my life in an entirely different way than what it is today. And it could just be the smallest thing. And it just makes you think, like, what if anything in my life up until this point led to where I am today? And it's like you can recount a lot of your mistakes. And recounting a lot of your mistakes leads to, the what ifs. Because, a lot of people do talk about, those people in high school, they're not going to remember you. They're not going to be important after high school. And while that's true, like, when it comes down to the people that used to bully you in high school and treat you like shit because they were insecure, that is very true. They're not a bully anymore because they don't matter. But when it comes down to, like, your feelings towards events that took place in high school, nah, it doesn't really go away. And, being out of school for over 6 years now, it just, you see life for what it really is. And I don't let go of any of that stuff. Like, I still feel every single day. And I'm always my brain is always moving fast. But my brain moving fast doesn't make me forgetful. It makes me remember more. Like, I can recall details of every single thing in my life almost. And sometimes it's just those scenarios where you're like, what if? A lot of it has to go back to high school. A lot of it goes back to, like, even when I first became a teenager. Like, when I was 13 years old, I'm like, man, I got all these years to figure out what the hell life is about. And I blinked and I'm 25. And it's not that I think, like, 25 is, 50 or you're 60 and you run out of time. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, you really do what if a lot of stuff when the time goes by faster than you thought it would. And I just think I kind of think it's important and healthy to talk about those thoughts that you have and recount those memories. So maybe somebody can relate out there. And if you sat here and listened to me ramble this whole time, I appreciate you. And I love you, and I hope that you have yourself a beautiful rest of your day. And if you're like me and you what if everything, at least give yourself some positive words if you're doing that too, because you are where you're supposed to be. It's just we don't always know what we could have done differently to change our whole existence, but you can't go back in time. Just the bottom line.